how's it going out there today, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Coming to you today from Planet Jersey, where I'm gonna need you to make all your left turns from the right. Come on. I don't know. I find that fun. You know, I find it real fun. You know, making my lefts from the right or whatever. All right, let's get my paperwork straight. This is weekly recap time. For you guys don't know, I go over the business of owner operating, semi-truck, big rig, 18-wheeler, you know, throw all them keywords in there for the YouTube algorithm, you know, Freightliner Cascadia, Peterbilt 579, T680 Kenworth. I'm just saying, you could operate a truck like that. That's what these numbers are going to show you here. So, a few things real quick I want to talk to you about. Weekly recaps. I try to do this every week. We're a little behind. I don't think it's been a week since I did one. I might actually be catching up for a couple days. But the way it works is I go over my costs, I go over my trips, I talk a little bit about them, why I picked them, why I ran them, how I ran them, why I do what I do, that type of stuff. I appreciate everybody watching. If you like this kind of stuff, maybe think about subscribing. Hit that like button for me. Leave me a comment. A few things. I'm leased to an 80-20 split carrier. We split this 80-20. I don't pay a trailer rental fee, you know, that type of stuff. So that's kind of a breakdown of my setup, my operation. I don't really talk about truck payments and insurance because everybody's is so different. It just, to me, it seems like a moot point. You know, if you find the truck you like, you figure out what the payment's going to be on that, call an insurance company, get some quotes on some insurance. If you're going to lease that truck onto a carrier, talk to that carrier about their insurance. That would be one of the first things I would talk to a carrier about, because some of these guys have some ridiculously priced insurance. You're going to watch out for that. And yeah, that's kind of the breakdown of it. I'm getting really close to not having a truck payment myself. I don't know how many I got left. Probably about 5 or 6 I got left. But boy, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about it. Made some double payments, you know, got some stuff knocked out. I recommend that. If you can afford double payments, knock them out. Get it over with. Get that asset in your name, because you never know what could happen out there. That's my advice for the day. So, from this very sunny New Jersey day, let's go over some stuff, okay? So I ended last week down in Miami, so we're bringing a load out of Miami. And this was right before Mother's Day. This was a floral load. I went to Miami. I went to Florida for a reason. You know, I've been doing this long enough. You know, I know the seasons. I know where to chase the produce. I know where to chase. I really don't like chasing things, but with rates as good as they are now, you can really get into some situations where people's back against the wall, and you can get, you know, what you want, basically. As I say, you can acknowledge your value, right? So started out down in Miami. I knew we was coming out of Miami on a floral load. That's the only reason I went down in that area, because I knew floral loads were kicking down in there. So we got down in there, made good money going in. You know, check out last week's weekly recap. You can see the load I took in from Colorado all the way down. We come out of Miami, 1 pick in Miami, 4 drops in Chicago, floral load. A little bit about this load. 38 degrees continuous, 30,000 pounds, 32 miles of deadhead, 1416 on the loaded miles, 1,448 all-in miles on this load. It paid $4,200. Excuse me. It paid $4,200. You know, did pretty good on fuel other than reefer. $100 on reefer on this load alone. And I want to talk why that was. Number one, I ran the reefer tank down a little bit before I picked this load up. So I would say probably $20 of that goes to the previous load. But also another thing I'll explain to you is this is what I spent on the load. It's not what I used on the load. Like I say this in a lot of weekly recaps. Sometimes my fuel bill may look super expensive, but you never know. I may have started out a week on empty, and then ended the week on full. So there may be a whole extra tank of fuel that I didn't use. Like right now, I just ended my last week and started over. I'm over 3/4 of a tank to start this week. And I did the numbers on last week, and yeah, fuel was up because of that. So sometimes it works out like that. But another reason Reefer was so high on this load is because of the loading in Miami, Florida on a hot day. They said, hey, set your Reefer to 38 degrees, drop your trailer indoor, whatever it was, 40 or something, and bobtail over because, you know, it's a really tight lot, so we need you out of the way. I sat there, I did a live show on it. I can't remember what the live show was called. It was, I don't know. You have to go back and look it up, but I sat there for, I think, like 12 hours, maybe longer than that. Yeah, they really ticked me off with that load because that load had 4 deliveries that like were really tight scheduled for Mother's Day. And so basically I had to make up the 12 hours it took to load. Now, I don't blame the people at the facility. They were waiting on the container to come in, back up at the ports, I guess. I don't know. Most of these flowers came from like Ecuador, places like that, South America. So nothing I could go in and gripe at them about. I did go in and say, hey, can I cut that Reefer unit off? It's sitting out there with the doors open and not a very like tight building, you know what I mean? Kind of like an open dock, like dock doors open, just Reefer sitting there just screaming. And I was like, can I cut that Reefer off? They're like, well, no, we're getting ready to load you. And I was like, okay, it's been 4 hours. So at that point, it was another 6 or 7 hours before they started loading. It takes like 2 or 3 hours to load a floral load. They floor stack the first 3 stops. The very first stop that came off was on a pallet, or on pallets. So that first one came off real quick. Those last 3 took a while. Now, interesting on the delivery on these floral loads. I told them I'm not hand unloading. I don't hand unload, but I said I can get that load there from Miami to Chicago like you want it. I said I can still do it, but I'm not unloading it. And so what they did is they sent 2 lumpers out to the first stop, and they pulled the product off. I drove to the second stop. They showed up at the second stop. They hand unloaded that one. We went to the third, same on. Fourth, same on. So every stop was, but man, the third stop, every stop was like, had huge delays. I mean, I was up all night with this. I did a split log like you would not believe. All legal, of course, but the third stop, the forklift, we unloaded in the street. They brought a forklift with a pallet out, and they would put the pallet up in the trailer, load the boxes on it, take the pallet, and go put it inside, and so on and so on. The very last pallet, he picks it up out of the trailer, he backs up about 10 foot, and ran out of propane in the forklift. Could not find another propane cylinder, and mind you, this is at about 3 in the morning at this point, so there's no place to get a propane cylinder. So what happened is I told him, I said, guys, here's the deal. I've got about 8 minutes left to drive, and our next stop is about 8 minutes away. And really, I had about 15. But I told them, I said, I've got to leave right now and go there and park. I said, I can't wait for your propane situation to get taken care of. So I'm going to button up the doors right now. I'll meet you guys over there. About an hour and a half later, they showed up. Apparently, they had to call the owner of the floral store we were delivering to and have him come out and basically just sit there and guard his forklift and his flowers in the middle of the street because he ran out of propane. I mean, what a day. What a day it was. That load was rough. I earned the money on that one. And let's see. Then we were in Chicago. We came down, load right out of Chicago. I got good connections in Chicago. That's why I wanted that Miami to Chicago load. That's why I willed that thing to happen. That load was 1 pick in Chicago, 3 drops in, 1 in the Memphis area, and then 1 down in the Mississippi, and then finaled in Baton Rouge, where that thing finaled out at. That load paid $4,000. It was 26 deadhead miles, 1,035 loaded miles, 1,061 all-in miles. It was 33 degrees, start and stop, 20,000 pound load. Good times right there, good times. So fuel economy was good for the week, probably 8 plus. You know, even hoofing it with that, even getting after it with that Miami load, still good. And then let's see, that other load was like, it was nothing compared to this one. Now at the end of that load, right before I made that last delivery, that's when my DEF pump went out. So next week's weekly recap is going to be a banger. Banger in the bad sense, not in the good sense. So let's go over the numbers of this week here. We're talking about 2,509 miles all in, $8,200 in total revenue. That is $6,560 to the 80% I get to my truck. 58 deadhead miles. That's 3% deadhead. Really good. 2,451 loaded miles. Let's talk about the breakdown on the pay. That's $3.27 all miles. The 80% all miles is $2.62 a mile. So I'm really blessed on this week. I mean, I got like my cut of the money is what like a normal, rate would be. So really blessed here lately. That's $3.35 a loaded mile. Loaded miles, not like all in miles, but just to give you an idea what reefer rates are doing there. So this week consisted of 2 picks and 7 drops. I love my multi-stops. So let's go over the breakdown on the variable cost. I'm going to lean over a little bit so I can put some numbers up here for you. $927 in diesel this week, $185 in reefer. Hell of a week on reefer. That floral load was most of it though, honestly, because just sitting there with the doors open at all those stops, and it was all just reefer. It was hard on a reefer unit, I'll say that. So anyway, back to the start. $927 in diesel, $185 in reefer fuel, $25 in DEF, $91 in tolls, and I did not scale either one of those loads. And that makes my variable cost $1,228. That, we bring over the $6,560. That's my 80% to my company. Minus my $1,228 variable cost leaves me $5,332 to do what I have to do with. Another great week. For you guys that think it's all sunshine and rainbows, please tune in next week. Reality check next week. Had back-to-back banger weeks. Boy, I had another one lined up, and then the DEF pump went out, and it was quite the ordeal. But anyway, guys, I'm going to hop off here. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you. Click on one of these other videos. Check out the description below. Check out Mudflap. Use my promo code. Get $10 in free fuel. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care of each other out there.